Hello and welcome to this session in which we will discuss Introduction to Corporate Finance and the role of the financial manager. Now, when I say Introduction to Corporate Finance, you could be taking this course as a corporate finance course, or you could be taking this course as simply Intro to Finance or Introduction to Finance. It does not matter. In this session, we are going to lay the ground about what is corporate finance and what is the role of a financial manager. Now, to do so, we're going to simplify the concept so you make sure you understand it, but think about larger, bigger businesses or the bigger picture. So I'm going to start to ask you to think about launching an online business. Let's assume you want to offer digital services like web design, some sort of a marketing business, search engine optimization, ads, online ads, or bookkeeping. Now, why do you start a business? Well, simply put, to make a profit. That's the purpose of the business. Because, why am I asking this question? Because if you have already all the money that you need, that's great. Then you don't need to plan. But the point here is you have to make decisions on how to finance the business, how to run the business. And the reason is simple. You have a limited amount of money and a limited source of that money. And you need to know about those sources. Those sources are your finance sources. So that's what we need to learn about. You need money. So most companies need to figure out how to get the financing they need. And this is where corporate finance comes in. Now, when I say corporate finance, think of it for your own self. If that makes it easier for you, think about if I want to launch a business, I want to finance myself. It does not matter. The concept is the same. Where are you going to get the money from? How are you going to get the money? Same thing for a corporation. They need to think about how are they going to get the money and through what means. And we'll talk about the different means, the different sources of money, different sources of capital. But let's go back to this example. So think about this online business. To operate this business, what do you think you need? Well, you need to hire people, either freelancer or remote employees, or actually hiring people, and you have to bring them to the office. You have to purchase certain software. For example, you might have to buy Canva, you might have to buy QuickBooks Online. Depending on what your business is, you might have to subscribe to an SEO, search engine optimization software. You have to buy some sort of software subscription, and maybe many of them. You need money for that. Obviously, you need to invest in a website, you need to build your branding, and you need to advertise yourself. So notice, all of this, to operate the business, what do you need? You need funding. If you have the funding, great. There's nothing you need to do. You don't have to learn about corporate finance. Companies don't have to even learn about this topic. But because we have a limited amount of money, scarcity of resources, this is where corporate finance comes into place. So we are going to discuss how do you finance yourself from an introductory perspective. And in this course, we're going to cover maybe 18 chapters, which is approximately 18 every chapter, maybe 5 to 7 lectures. So we're looking at a lot of lectures here, but let's go ahead and get started. Before we proceed any further, I have a public announcement about my company, farhatlectures.com. Our corporate finance course is best for online students and students who are taking corporate finance courses. We cover financial statements, discounted cash flow, stock valuation, bond valuation, NPV and capital investment decisions, cost of capital, risk and return, as well as other topics. Our course includes lectures as well as multiple choice questions. Go ahead and start your free trial today. No obligation. We are here to help. Your success starts here. So the first thing is you want to know is every business will have assets. So we need to know what are the assets of the business. Remember what we said? We said we need software, we need website, we need assets. Assets are things that's going to provide benefit to the business. Those are the business asset. Anything that provide benefit. What could benefit the business like an online business? You need software, social software, digital infrastructure in order to build your social media presence. You need people. Now, from an accounting perspective, yes, human capital is an asset, but from an accounting perspective, we cannot count people as assets because assets are things that you control. But I want you to buy in the idea that your assets are your resources, your people are your asset. Now, in my accounting classes, human capital are not an asset. They are an asset in theory, but not assets on the books. So you cannot put the assets, the employee as assets. If anything, assets, employees, we'll see later on, employees are expenses, which are different than asset. But sometimes your employees are your most important, I'm going to use the word assets, because they provide the most benefit. I just want you to think about the idea of assets. Technology tools, online platform, you might need a building. Obviously, you need money to operate. So these are assets. So you need assets. Now, how do you bring those assets? You need to finance the asset. You need to finance your business. And now you have to think about, okay, I need all of this. Employees, people, digital platform, servers, subscription, office building. How do I get this? I need to finance the business. So if I have the money, I need to finance. When I say the business, I need to finance my assets, because the business is where I have the assets. How do I finance the asset? So the startup, or whether you are a startup or a well-established companies, you need money to fund these assets. Where could money come from? Think about it before we proceed. Think about, where do companies get their money from? Or where do you think you get your money from? Well, one thing you can do is invest your own money. This is called owner's equity. You're the owner and you're providing the equity. For example, you have $50,000 saved. You will take that $50,000, you transfer it to your business account, you invest in the business, and you start to build your equity. That's one way to do it. What's another way to bring money? External financing. What's external financing? You get a bank loan. Any sort of a loan. Bank loan, personal loan, a family loan. You can sell bonds. We'll see later. You can go to venture capitalists, people that like to invest in new businesses, and ask them for money. This is how you can do it. Now, once the business is established, we are going to see there is a third source of financing, which is called internal. Internal in contrast to external. Internal is the profit that the business makes. But we don't have to worry about this now, but I want you to think, because some of you are thinking, how about profit from the business? Yes, that comes into the picture later. But here we are assuming you are starting a business. I want you to think about, what are the sources of your asset? I'm going to say it one more time. What are the sources of your asset? It's either your own money or you get a bank loan. Think about this, because we're going to come back and revisit that picture. Then the value creation will start. Once the company acquires the asset, they would acquire clients, start selling their services, and they will generate cash inflows. This cash inflows could be the third sort of business. So these inflows, after covering the cost to operate the business, represent value created by the firm. That profit is value created. So you can take that profit and refinance yourself, or the owner can take that profit out in form of dividend. And we'll talk about that later. But this is the big picture. So the purpose of corporate finance, at the end of the day, is to maximize the firm's value for the owners. Remember, you started the business and you put your own money, right? You borrowed money, right? You took risk, you borrowed money, you asked people for money. Then you operated the business and you made a profit, you created value. So your goal is to maximize the firm value. And when we say the firm, someone owns the firm. And that someone, we're talking about one individual, that's you. Now for large corporation, who are the owners? Millions of people owns companies like Microsoft, Walmart, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola. Those are publicly traded companies. So what do? They operate the business for your benefit. So this value is assessed through the firm's balance sheet and financial matrices, which we'll see later. But now we need to focus on something called the balance sheet, because we need to formalize everything that we talked about here. I have not used the technical term. And one of the technical term I will be introducing right now is something called balance sheet. We'll revisit later. Now I am an accounting instructor. That's mainly what I do, but I also teach. This is a finance course. I live and die by this equation. Assets equal to liabilities plus equity, which is the balance sheet. Now let's go back and revisit the balance sheet formally. And this is for an online service-based business. Every company will have assets. And assets, they could be broken by current and fixed. They could be broken by more, but for now we can live with that combination for a finance course. What are assets? Assets are the resources that you will need to run the business. Like what? Cash, account receivable. What's account receivable? Account receivable are someone owes you money. From, for example, for my business, from courses. People buy my courses and they owe me money. software subscription for CPA and CMA platforms. That's my asset. I subscribe to, for example, to the AI CPA. I subscribe to NASBA. Digital tools like online course hosting services. For example, my website is hosted by an online service company. I have to pay them a fee. Those are my assets. I have an office. I have to pay for that office. That's an asset. I have a vehicle for the car. That's an asset. So notice I have licenses for various educational content distribution. For example, I pay a fee every year for the AI CPA to buy their most released CPA questions. I have a website. Now, what's the difference between current asset or fixed asset or long-term asset? Sometimes it's called not fixed, long-term. Current assets are assets that you will be consuming in the near future. You are constantly consuming your cash. Versus when you have a website, you don't consume a website. You build a website and it stays with you for several years. For example, my website is at least 12 years old. So it's a fixed asset. You also pay for licenses for educational content or any sort of licenses. Those are long-term. Now, those are the assets. Notice human capital is not there because now we are going into the technical term of the asset. How do you finance your asset? Well, let's talk first about your own. I, Mansour's investment as owner into Farhat Lectures. If it's my business, I put my money into the business. For example, I take money from my personal account when I started my business. I open a business account called Farhat Lectures. I deposit this money, and this is where this money goes. Then from this money, I buy my asset. I buy my assets to run the business. That's one way. Another way to finance yourself is through liabilities. And liabilities, which is debt. Debt could be two types of debt. We could have current and we could have long-term. Again, I'm not too technical in my finance course because you don't need to be that technical here. But in accounting, we have to be more technical. But what are current versus long-term? Current debt is debt that you will have to pay within 1 year. Long-term debt that's going to be with you longer than 1 year. Short-term versus long-term. For example, I can take a loan out for 6 months. That's a debt. That's a short-term debt. I can take a loan for 7 years. That's a long-term debt. You will have all sorts of debt. The most typical one is a loan. Also, I can buy goods on credit. It means I buy them now, I pay later, I have a debt. But this is the balance sheet. I'm going to go back and go over the balance sheet step by step, looking at the assets first. Let's take a look at this multiple choice question from farhatlectures.com. Capital budgeting decisions are decisions that involve issuing new shares of stock, buying a new machine for production, maintaining a large inventory, borrowing money to acquire a new building. So do we know what capital budgeting is? Capital budgeting is what? Capital budgeting is how to finance your assets, specifically long-term asset. Well, how about issuing new shares of stocks? Issuing new shares of stocks is financing the company. It's determining the capital structure of the company. How much do we want to have in stocks? How much do we have to have in bond? That's not capital budgeting. Buying a new machine for production? Yes. Machine is a long-term asset that you invest to run the business. That's capital budgeting. Let's make sure C is not. Maintaining a large inventory, that's working capital. This is day-to-day operation. That's not capital budgeting. Capital budgeting is long-term. Borrowing money to acquire a new building, borrowing money or issuing stocks, they're both financing and they deal with capital structure. Capital structure is how much do you borrow money versus you issue equity to finance the business. That's issuing stocks or borrowing money to acquire a new building. But buying the machine itself for production purposes, if I say buying the machine for sales, if you want to buy the machine then sell it, it will be working capital because this is day-to-day operation if you are in the business of buying and selling machine. Notice we're buying the machine to use it for production. And when we buy a machine, we buy it for several years. No companies buy a machine then sell it within 1 year because there's a lot of cost and they bought the machine for output. Now, could this happen? Yes, it could happen, but that's not the norm. That's the exception. What should you do now? You want to go to Farhat Lectures, look at additional MCQs, lectures, resources that will help you, whether you are a finance studying for your CMA, CPA, CFA exam. Invest in yourself. That's the best investment you can make. Good luck and study hard.